Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we're going to be talking about Xbox and why so many PlayStation guys are leaving PlayStation and going to Xbox. I'm seeing these videos all the time, seeing comments like that all the time. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, because I'm going to try to tell you from my point of view why I did it. So let's get this started. So yeah, I've been a PlayStation guy since PlayStation 1. I've been playing PlayStation for over 25 years. PlayStation has brought me so many freaking amazing experiences over those years. Like, I look back over the last 25 years and I don't ever remember not having a PlayStation at my disposal. I mean, even now I have a PlayStation 5. But I'm way more excited about Xbox. I'm way more hyped about Xbox. I'm more appreciative of all the features inside the Xbox Series X that really make that system far more next gen to me than anything the PlayStation 5 can do. So Phil Spencer, Jason Ronald, if you're watching this video, could you please give us a controller that we can buy with haptic feedback in there and squishy triggers, so that we can officially call the Xbox Series X and S a next gen console. I just think that would help push us over the top. I mean, like, all the other really cool features that the Xbox has, you know, like auto low latency, Dolby Vision, auto HDR, enhanced backwards compatibility, smart delivery. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, native 4K, 12 teraflops of power, internal SSD, just all these different things that the Xbox has that just doesn't quite push it over the next gen barrier for a lot of people. I mean, if we could just get that controller, that would really help us. That would really help us out. I'm really tired of hiding my shame, you know, with the Xbox Series X, you know, not being a true next gen console. So, you know, and maybe send us some, you know, maybe get us some new games, you know, some real heavy hitting first party bangers, so that we can you know, move forward with this and just be happy with our gaming experience without somebody always trying to knock us down for the decisions that we like. All right, so now let's get back to this case. So yeah, I decided to, you know, make Xbox Series X, well, Xbox One X before that, my daily driver, where I would play all of my games, where I'd play and get all of my third-party experiences. And I'll tell you, when I first started playing the Xbox, you know, Series X, or Xbox One X, and, you know, back in 2017, I was amazed. You know, I just bought a 4K TV, and, you know, I had that PlayStation 4 Pro already, and I was like, oh yeah. I mean, I was a diehard Sony fan back then, and I started noticing, you know, game after game after game I would buy, that they were always better on the Xbox One X. So that got me hyped. I was like, wow, these games look freaking amazing and they feel good on my Xbox One X. So when Xbox, you know, announced, you know, Xbox Series X and the date for, you know, pre-ordering, I was right there. Right there to pre-order that thing right in the morning. Got it pre-ordered. Boom. Had my Xbox Series X since day one. I have been playing that thing every single day since then. I buy all my third-party games on the Xbox ecosystem still. I have bought a few on the PlayStation, you know, that I've already bought on Xbox, just so that I can, you know, kind of compare and contrast them, you know, because, I mean, if you think about it, you know, I paid the exact same amount of money for my PlayStation 5 as I did my Xbox Series X. And, you know, it just, you know, I mean, I kind of wanted to see, you know, what the PlayStation 5 was gonna offer me this generation. See if maybe it could reignite that, you know, that long held, you know, loyalty that I've had to the PlayStation brand. And gosh, you know what? I mean, some games, yeah, it's like, oh right, you know, this is good. But then some games, are like running way better on Xbox, and just they're not doing that well on the PlayStation 5. I mean, WRC10 is probably the biggest offender. Like it's pretty bad on the PlayStation 5 console, where it's running just fine on the Xbox. So it's like it's little things like that like, gosh, I'm so glad I decided to get an Xbox One X last generation, just because my Xbox experience has been pretty solid, pretty stable all the way through. I mean, it's been pretty consistent. Whereas on the PlayStation, it'll go up and down. Every time a Sony first party game comes out, like, they look and play amazing. But then the third party, they waver so much on the Sony hardware nowadays. Sony first party developers are amazing. I will always own a PlayStation to support those guys. I love the stuff they make for me, and I think it's great. There's a lot of negativity going around right now toward the Xbox ecosystem, because of the lack of games. But man, in just over little over 4 years, I've got almost 400 games on my Xbox, and a 50,000 gamer score, 51,000 gamer score. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not having a problem finding games on my Xbox. Like, there's plenty of them. So, I mean, when it comes to that, like, Mama just got home. I heard the door shut, so we got to try to hurry this video up. No, I'm just joking. So, when it comes down to, I think that might be my daughter. So when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, Xbox is my daily driver now. It really is. I love my PlayStation still, and I still want to cover that on this channel, and be excited for gaming in general. That's really the whole reason for this channel is literally to spread happiness and joy about gaming. But it doesn't seem like it. It just feels like no matter what I do, there's no getting away from the whole console wars thing. So I just need to draw a line in the sand and let people know that, yeah, dude, I'm basically team Xbox all the way. Like, I love what they're doing with Xbox. I love what they're doing with the brand. I think the people that are running Xbox right now are pretty great. I think that I think that the studio acquisitions, with Bethesda, I mean, that's a big one for me. I love Bethesda games, and Xbox is, going back to those roots of being like an RPG shooter machine, and I'm happy with that. That's what I want to see, and that's what I want to be a part of. I do want to spread happiness for PlayStation as well. I do. I love my first party games, like I do, and I will continue to cheer them on and hope they do well and support them in any way I can. Sing their praises. I mean, I'm not going to go out of my way to be like, oh yeah, this game is great, if it's really not. Like, you'll always get the truth from me, how I'm actually feeling about the games that I buy and I purchase and I play. So I mean, there's so many other things that could be said in this video, but I do want to touch on a touchy subject that there's a lot of stuff going around right now about Xbox just opening their wallet and buying studios left and right. I personally don't really have a problem with that, and I kind of understand why they would have to do that, and they have to stock Game Pass. They have to continue to feed that monster because it's going to grow. It's getting bigger. I heard something today that they could possibly be at 30 million subscribers already to Game Pass, and I mean, that makes sense. My biggest thing is I'm hearing people talking about acquisitions of like Take-Two Interactive or other big games. Let's just suffice it to say I would much rather them not go after big companies that are going to be like really heavy with the nickel and dime microtransactions and stuff. I would say, I was saying something about that on a live that I was doing the other day, but I mean, Bethesda did kind of start dabbling in that toward the end, and started doing these stores with like Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76, stuff like that. They started to get really into the seeing where the whole monetization thing would take them, and I'm glad that it wasn't like something that was really big, because I just don't feel like I want that energy in the Xbox ecosystem. I don't want that that type of an energy in the Xbox ecosystem. And games like, Call of Duty, or Grand Theft Auto, stuff like that, I necessarily don't think those companies would be a good fit for Xbox going forward. I mean, just like they wouldn't be a good fit for like PlayStation or Nintendo either. I mean, like the console brand itself should be free away from all those from all that that negativity. I mean, there's a reason why some of those companies are the most hated companies out there, and I would really hate to see Xbox take in that type of or not take in, but bring in something that could necessarily damage the brand as a whole. I would like to see Microsoft continue the way they're going, continue to build Xbox the way they have envisioned, because that's a great vision, and I do believe in that. I stand by Microsoft's vision 100%. Whereas with Sony, it's a little bit harder to get behind Sony, with the raising the prices, and trying to position themselves as like the top tier high quality brand and stuff. I mean, yeah, a lot of it's true. Like Sony does make some pretty decent games, and the general consensus around the internet is everybody loves these games, and I mean, I do too. Like I do love them, but at the same time, I just sometimes I don't feel like they're exactly everything they say they are. I mean, like, they're not as earth shattering as say games like The Witcher 3. Well, I mean, like Death Stranding is a pretty earth shattering game for me, and my feelings for that game came rushing back to me this last week when I started playing it again on the PlayStation 5. Like, I'm really pumped for that game. Like, I really do like it, and I think it is going to be getting a pretty high spot in my top 10 games of all time for sure. I'm going to play through it again and kind of see where it fits with everything. So, but it is looking like it's definitely going to be in there. I mean, it might actually hit my top 5, to tell you the truth. So, as time goes on and evolves with this channel, I do want to remain neutral, for the most part. Like, I don't want to go out of my way to really bash Sony a lot. Like, I don't really need to bash them. I mean, the whole point is to spread joy and happiness and excitement about Xbox, because that's what I love, and I'm really into that right now. So I want to be a good voice for Xbox, and not just sitting out here like running around like console bashing and stuff like that. And yeah, so I've made some decisions in how I want to handle content going forward, and yeah, like as it sits right now, honestly, guys, if I had to choose between the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, one that I had to get rid of, and one that I had to keep, I would definitely be going with the Xbox Series X right now. You could definitely say that and that's knowing everything we know about what's coming up, everything that we know about what's going to come out. If I had to choose right now today which one I would keep and which one I would let go, I would keep the Xbox Series X, and I would let the PlayStation 5 go. I mean, that would be it. I mean, that's a hard choice to have to make. That is one tough decision to have to make, especially after 25 years of being a PlayStation guy. That really does pain me to say that I would let it go to keep my Xbox Series X, but truth be told, I'm actually going to be going to buy a new 2 terabyte SSD for my PlayStation 5 today, so it's not going anywhere anytime soon. I still love PlayStation. I still want to game on PlayStation, and I still want to experience those experiences from those developers. But at the same time, I really don't want to have to. I don't want to bash the PlayStation brand on this show. I don't want to be like everybody else. I really don't. And if you've noticed, the last little while, I really have been trying to, tone that down. I mean, I might do like the little wisecrack like PlayStation Beta when Xbox does something good. Like I might do that stuff, that kind of stuff too. But at the end of the day, Xbox is definitely my place to play, and that's why I have chosen Xbox to be my platform of choice, whereas PlayStation is definitely my backup, and Nintendo will always be Nintendo, doing what Nintendo does, giving me games every once in a while that I actually want to play, like Metroid Dread coming out here in a few days. So yeah, Nintendo will always be there too. I'm a video gamer, I'm a console gamer, and that's what I like to do. That's what I want to talk about, and that's how I want to move this channel forward as it continues to grow. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody that has subscribed lately. I mean, you guys are pushing me pretty close to 1,000 subscribers really fast, and yeah, I didn't even expect this, 5.5 months ago when I started this channel, to be sitting where I'm at right now. And it's all because of you and everything you've done to help me get to this point. And I'm glad that you like to listen to me, and you and yeah, like I'm happy. I'm happy that you're part of my community. So let's keep growing. Let's keep moving forward. Like I said, if you like it, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.